Caitlin Clark finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing in quite some time.
62 records, shattered packed arenas, a league transformed yet silence from the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's debut season drove a 300% spike in TV viewership and 500% surge in merchandise sales. She rewrote basketball history, but why did her own league seem to look the other way?
The point that I'm really not understanding in all of this, and I feel like it's been such a pattern throughout the entire season, it feels like there are still certain people within the WNBA who want the league to grow, but they don't want it to grow if it's certain people at the face.
From record-breaking performances to economic windfalls, from controversial award ceremonies to missed promotional opportunities. We're diving into the puzzling disconnect between Clark's undeniable impact and the WNBA has muted response. But just when tensions reached a boiling point and fans' frustration at an all-time high, everything changed on December 9th. In this video, we'll reveal the inside story of how the league finally woke up to the Caitlin Clark effect and what they did.
My expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
More history for the Fever rookie.
At this point, continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
Best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less than that. More history for the Fever hit this point into you to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that. Picture this: empty arenas, plummeting TV ratings, and the league desperately searching for its next big star. This was the WNBA reality before.
Nobody that wants that more than I do for these players, but we have to be in the right financial position. We're not going to jeopardize the financial viability of this league. It was just a few years ago we were surviving, and now we're going from survive to thrive. So we'll do it at the appropriate time, and we've been chipping away at it every year.
Players. But we have to be in the right financial position. We're not going to jeopardize the financial viability of this league. It was just a few years ago we were surviving, and now we're going from survive to thrive. So we'll do it at the appropriate time, and we've been chipping away at it every year. You'd think the WNBA would jump at the chance to promote a generational talent like Clark, right? Wrong, as she tore up the college ranks, setting the basketball world ablaze. The league's response was silence. It's mind-boggling to think about now, but they seemed oblivious to the storm brewing.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Basketball in years as draft day approached. Anticipation reached a fever pitch. How would the league respond to Clark's arrival? Would they finally wake up to the goldmine they were about to get? Or would their puzzling indifference continue during her rookie season with the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft? The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
She just absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her play.
To do with the star of Clark's magnitude. Little did anyone know Clark's draft day was just the beginning. What happened next would force the WNBA to confront its own shortcomings in a way no one saw coming. She just absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon on for sports fans. Certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball.
What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Doubt lingered. Veterans scoffed and analysts debated. Could one rookie really live up to years of hype? What will the league have in store for them when they get their look at Sleepy?
45 blocks last year, Clark for three.
through it, of course. Then you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional baseball for a long time. From the moment her historic debut season tipped off, Clark proved she belonged. Her first shot, a deep three that sent the crowd into a frenzy during her first preseason game against the Dallas Wings on May 3rd, 45 blocks. Last year, Clark for three. Clark finished her debut with an eye-popping stat line, 21 points and a handful of highlight reel assists. Her shooting touch was on full display, hitting at an impressive clip from both inside and outside the arc. But it wasn't just the numbers that had people talking. Clark's court vision and ability to make jaw-dropping passes left fans and analysts in awe as the season unfolded. Social media exploded. Highlights of Clark's long-range shots and no-look passes spread like wildfire. Fans who'd never given the WNBA a second glance found themselves captivated by this rookie phenom. The league hadn't seen this kind of buzz in years. Clark's impact extended beyond her individual brilliance. Her presence on the court seemed to elevate the entire Indiana Fever team, a squad that had struggled in recent seasons. Suddenly looked rejuvenated, playing with newfound energy and purpose, culminating in their first playoff appearance in almost a decade. But make no mistake, Caitlin Clark is doing things beyond her years now. Fans and experts alike wondered just how many records this young star would shatter before her rookie season was through. The stats told one story, but the eye test told another. Clark's unique playing style, the deep threes, the pinpoint passes, the fearless drives to the hoop had basketball purists rethinking what was possible.
Caitlin Clark is a superstar, not a female superstar. She is a superstar.
We were coming to see Caitlin Clark play.
She moves the needle. The WNBA has been looking for someone who moves the needle.
Debut season reverberated through the sports world. One thing became crystal clear. The WNBA had a new superstar on its hands. Ticket sales surged, merchandise flew off the shelves, and TV ratings spiked. Caitlin Clark was exceeding even the loftiest expectations. But as impressive as her on-court performance was, it was just the beginning. Clark's impact was about to extend far.
And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history.
Clarkonomics, my friend.
A once-in-a-generation talent, you better be ready for the spotlight. Caitlin Clark is a superstar, not a female superstar. She is a superstar. We were coming to see Caitlin Clark play. She moves the needle. The WNBA has been looking for someone who moves the needle. Clark's presence wasn't just boosting attendance for the Indiana Fever.
Caitlin Clark effect strikes again, this time catapulting the WNBA to levels they didn't think were possible if we only look back 2 years from now.
To hit that mark. On September 19th, the final game of the Fever's regular season, the Capital One Arena in Washington set a new WNBA single-game attendance record with 20,711 fans. And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history. Clark-nomics. My friend Clark's influence extended far beyond her home court. 1 out of every 6 tickets sold in WNBA arenas this season could be traced back to her. Fans were traveling across state lines just to see her play, and people who had never given the WNBA a second thought were suddenly planning road trips. Opposing teams had to book larger venues to accommodate the surge of fans wanting to see Clark in person. Caitlin Clark effect strikes again.
When it comes to the WNBA growth, 99% of that is Caitlin Clark, make no mistake about it.
If we only look back 2 years from now. As the season progressed, it became clear this wasn't just a fleeting moment of novelty. For the first time since 1999, the WNBA saw a significant boost in overall attendance, with every team in the league experience and growth. Clark's star power elevated the entire sport, making the WNBA the fastest growing brand in America across all industries. Yes, even higher than brands you see in
I thought it was going to get better this season, but it hasn't. There are still people who seemingly, to me, feel like they just don't want Caitlyn to be a part of it. Because with Caitlyn comes millions and millions and millions of more eyeballs.
In record numbers, another revolution was brewing, one that would force the WNBA to confront some uncomfortable truths about how they handled their new superstar. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time and we appreciate you. Now, back to the action. When it comes to the WNBA growth, 99% of that is Caitlyn Clark. Make no mistake about it. Imagine a league blessed with a once-in-a-generation talent, yet seemingly reluctant to embrace her as the young star rewrote the record books and filled arenas. The WNBA's promotional machine remained eerily quiet. Was this a calculated strategy or a misstep?
Notice when you're asked about Caitlyn a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries, and you can't do that alone as one person.
It was as if the league didn't quite know what to do with its new superstar. I thought it was going to get better this season, but it hasn't. There are still people who seemingly to me feel like they just don't want Caitlyn to be a part of it. Because with Caitlyn comes millions and millions and millions of more eyeballs. Think about it. She was shattering records, driving unprecedented...
These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlyn Clark thing up any worse if they try.
Deafening. The missed opportunities piled up. Her talk show appearances, no WNBA tie-ins, her Forbes recognition, barely a peep from the league. It was as if they were actively avoiding the spotlight that naturally found its way to her. As the season progressed, fans and media started to take notice. Questions began to swirl. Why wasn't the WNBA capitalizing on her popularity? The league's public statements only added to the confusion. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert repeatedly emphasized team rivalries and collective growth over individual star power. It was a stance that left many scratching their heads, especially given the undeniable impact on attendance and viewership. I notice when you're asked about Caitlyn a lot, you bring up other rookies as well. No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports people watch for compelling content and rivalries, and you can't do that alone as one person. But nothing exemplified the NBA's puzzling approach more than the Rookie of the Year ceremony. Picture this: instead of a grand event befitting a historic season, the award was presented during a team practice. No fanfare, no media circus, just a quick presentation and a photo op. It was a moment that should have been a celebration of her impact on the league. Instead, it felt like an afterthought. These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlyn Clark being any worse. If they cry, the backlash was swift and fierce. Fans took to social media expressing their disbelief and disappointment. Sports commentators were equally baffled, questioning the NBA's marketing strategy or lack thereof as criticism mounted. It became clear that something had to give. The disconnect between her undeniable star power and the NBA's reluctance to embrace it was reaching a boiling point. Fans were hungry for more content, more recognition of her achievements, more celebration of the excitement she brought to the game. How long could the WNBA maintain this curious silence? Would they finally wake up to the effect she was having? Or would they continue to let opportunities slip away as the pressure built? It seemed inevitable that change was coming. The only question was, what form would it take, and would it be too little, too late? Yeah, I think it can't be overstated enough, like what she did to bring eyes to that sport. The WNBA's sudden embrace of Caitlyn Clark's star power stunned fans and observers alike. After months of relative silence, the league has finally decided to feature Clark as the cornerstone of their Rookie Week campaign. This dramatic shift left many wondering if it was too late to capitalize on her impact. First was this Instagram post, the first time the WNBA has finally recognized Clark's historic rookie season. While this doesn't capture all 62, it features her most prominent.
Bringing more and more fans to this league, people that have maybe never watched the WNBA before, and it kind of takes your breath away at points.
Records and achievements. Next was their website redesign. Clark is now featured on the homepage of the WNBA, following their 2025 season schedule release. Speaking of schedules, the Indiana Fever Clarks team would feature prominently in the upcoming season schedule.
What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational, and I just, as a baller to a baller, I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely.
For just lifting our game up, you and so many great players. But what you're doing, you're going to make all these women multimillionaires one day, like Tiger did, like Michael Jordan did, and we shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her.
The potential for women's basketball seemed boundless as the 2025 season approached. One question remained: will the WNBA continue this momentum? Such an incredible moment on a global scale for our game. For our players, the fans are absolutely incredible. It's the same when we go on the road, like there's so many people that are showing up. And Fever Gear is really affecting, teams all across our league, which is a really great thing. And, really I think we're just scratching the surface of this. Caitlin Clark's impact extended far beyond the basketball court, reshaping the economics of women's basketball. In 2024, Clark earned $11.1 million, placing her among the world's highest paid.
The future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012.
Indiana Fever saw record-breaking attendance, averaging more than 17,000 fans per game during her rookie season. TV ratings soared, with Clark's games drawing an average of 1.2 million viewers, a threefold increase over games without her. Her economic impact on Indianapolis alone was estimated at $36 million in 1 year. We're bringing more and more fans to this league, people that have maybe never watched the WNBA before. And
she also did it with the spotlight on her at a very young age. Fame is hitting this young lady's life. And very, very rarely did I see a misstep or something that I wouldn't want to show my daughter. Literally every step of the way, it's just like, watch her, watch how she plays, watch how she handles her business.
Collective bargaining agreements. What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational, and I just, as a baller too, I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlin Clark. Absolutely, for just lifting our game up, you and so many great players. But what you're doing, you're going to make all these women multimillionaires one day, like Tiger did, like Michael Jordan did. And we shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her. As her rookie season concluded, the basketball world looked to the future. Could Clark maintain this momentum? Experts predicted her influence would continue to grow, potentially reshaping the WNBA in ways similar to how Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson transformed the NBA. Picture this. Caitlin Clark, fresh off a record-breaking rookie season in the WNBA, faced a sky-high expectations for her sophomore year. Fans wondered if she could top her incredible debut performance. Clark spent the offseason grinding, determined to come back even stronger. The Indiana Fever made moves too. They shook up their management team and coaching staff with the promise to bring in veteran free agents come January, all to build around their rising star. New offensive schemes were designed to showcase Clark's talents. The future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the fieldhouse. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012. Experts predict big things for Clark's second year, but Clark had her sights set even higher. She talked about leading the Fever to a championship and chasing down more records. The determination in her eyes said it all. What records could Clark break next as the new season approaches? The basketball world held its breath. Would Clark's sophomore year live up to the hype? Could she really transform the WNBA the way Jordan changed the NBA? Only time would tell. But one thing was certain, Caitlin Clark was redefining what was possible in women's sports, but she also did it with the spotlight on her at a very young age. Fame is hitting this young lady's life, and very rarely did I see a misstep or something that I wouldn't want to show my daughter literally every step of the way. It's just like, watch her, watch how she plays, watch how she handles her business. Caitlin Clark's rookie season was nothing short of remarkable. She broke records, filled arenas, and sent TV ratings soaring. Clark became the face of a league on the rise, helping propel the WNBA to become America's fastest-growing brand. But here's where it gets really exciting. This feels like just the beginning. With Clark leading the charge, women's basketball is poised for major growth. We're talking higher salaries, more media coverage, and a surge in fan engagement. Are you ready for what's coming next? As we look ahead to future seasons, one thing's clear, Caitlin Clark isn't just a star player. She's become a catalyst for change, pushing women's basketball to new heights and inspiring a whole generation of fans and players along the way. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen and we will see you in the next one.